Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is, another Wednesday, and that time of year is now upon us. Tomorrow is Humane Day. And what is Humane Day, you may ask? Well, the most obvious answer is that Humane Day is their Thanksgiving. Not our Thanksgiving, not the goddess worshippers' Thanksgiving, not the vegan Thanksgiving, but their Thanksgiving. So, what is their Thanksgiving, and why do we not celebrate their Thanksgiving? Why do we have our own Thanksgiving? Well, there's a few simple good reasons why we do not celebrate their Thanksgiving. First of all, their Thanksgiving is a celebration of the Christian God. And as I've noted before, I'm opposed to the Christian God for various reasons found mainly in the Bible. And the Christian God can be fierce and unrelenting and unkind and cruel. So I do not celebrate their Christian God, so I do not celebrate their Thanksgiving because their Thanksgiving is all about the Christian God. And secondly, I do not celebrate Thanksgiving because their Thanksgiving is about a victory over the Indians. And they may tell you differently. They may tell you, no, Thanksgiving is about sitting down to a meal with the Indians and sharing and breaking bread together. It's about our Indian brothers and sisters. No, don't believe that. Don't believe that BS. It's not true. It's not true. Their Thanksgiving, the original Thanksgiving, first time they gave thanks and thanked their God for their blessings, was and is a celebration or a victory over the American Indians. They had a celebration, a victory over the American Indians, and they celebrated Thanksgiving. And then they added Thanksgivings to their list of Thanksgivings until they had more Thanksgivings than anyone could handle. They had over 100 Thanksgivings that were all celebrating victories over the Indians. And so they put an end to the Thanksgivings for a while. For a while, they put an end to the Thanksgivings because there were too many of them, too many celebrations of victories over the Indians, so they stopped celebrating the Thanksgivings for a while. But then Abraham Lincoln decided to create a Thanksgiving holiday and have it in honor of the Pilgrims. So the Thanksgiving, there's a long history of the Thanksgiving feast, but it's basically a celebration of victory over the American Indians. And third reason why we don't celebrate their Thanksgiving is because it's about gorging yourself on a stuffed animal. And I'm not talking about a stuffed animal like a toy. I'm talking about a turkey whose body cavity has been stuffed full of bread cubes. And they do this every year. And it's cruel to the animals. These animals have been eviscerated alive in most cases. And I cannot celebrate a Thanksgiving that glorifies or worships eating animals. So where the poor animal is the centerpiece of the meal. So I do not celebrate their Thanksgiving. And in fact, there are some people who protest Thanksgiving each year. Each year, the American Indians hold two celebrations that aren't celebrations at all, but rather a time of mourning. And one of them is the National Day of Mourning. It's a time of fasting and of prayer to the spirits. And National Day of Mourning is held in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And the other one is Unthanksgiving. And Unthanksgiving is also held by American Indians on Alcatraz Island in California. And if you want to know when it is, it's their Thanksgiving. That's when the National Day of Mourning is, and that's when Unthanksgiving is. Each year on Alcatraz Island and in Plymouth, Massachusetts, they have a celebration that's not a celebration. It's a time of mourning and a time to reflect, and they feel bad about what happened to their ancestors. So it is their time of mourning, and it should be our time of mourning also. I believe in White Buffalo Woman. And I believe the White Buffalo Woman was Goddess Manifest. And White Buffalo Calf Woman, that's her full name, White Buffalo Calf Woman, manifested herself to the Plains Indians. And she made it clear that she wanted them to live pure lives, and they did. They followed Goddess's instructions and lived pure lives. So because I believe that White Buffalo Calf Woman was Goddess, I believe that she came specifically to the American Indian because of the American Indians' purity of heart and of mind and of spirit. She appeared to them and gave them her message because the white man was not open to her message. The white man's ears were closed to her message. So she brought her message to the Native Americans, to the American Indians. And so that each year is their day of mourning, and it's my day of mourning also. I mourn the way the Indians were treated, and I want to mourn with them. Now, if I had a plane ticket, if I had the money, I would go to Plymouth, Massachusetts or Alcatraz Island myself and join in. But I do not have the funds. So this year I'm going to be spending Humane Day at home. Now, here's how you spend Humane Day. Eat vegan if you can. Even if you're not a vegan, and I understand this, that some of you are not vegans, but this day, just change one thing about what you're doing and have a vegan meal. Don't eat animals on their Thanksgiving. Eat humane on Humane Day. And it doesn't have to be a special vegan meal. If you're making food for relatives, if you're cooking for relatives that day, you can make a vegan feast with usual Thanksgiving ingredients like stuffing, mashed potatoes, mushroom gravy, things like that are vegan, but still familiar foods for Thanksgiving if you're cooking for relatives. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be spending the holiday with my relatives and cooking vegan for them so that they aren't tempted to eat animals on their Thanksgiving, which they're so familiar with. So that's the story. Humane Day, if you can, and if you have the means, by all means, go to Plymouth, Massachusetts and join the National Day of Mourning. Join the protest. They serve vegan food at the National Day of Mourning, just so you know, so there is food available for you if you want to join. Or go to Alcatraz Island and join Unthanksgiving. I hear it's a wild time, and that you'll have a great time if you go to the Unthanksgiving. I'm Sarah Jane Alpha Wolf signing off. Have a terrific week, and don't celebrate their Thanksgiving.